Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I am having such a wonderful day. I just got back from Cousin Fun Day a little while ago. I just filmed a haul for my Peter Does Stuff channel, and I thought, I'm going to read through some comments and see if there was a comment that I want to address over here, something that I'm kind of like feeling in my heart, something that I'm working on currently. I love when you guys ask me to like make a video about something, or you respond to something, and I'm like, that is something that I'm currently working on, or that's something that I've spent a lot of time in my life working on. So I was just kind of reading through the comments, and there were actually a lot of comments that I could make videos about, and I really appreciate all the comments over here. So thank you so much for watching this channel. I love this channel. This is one of my favorite channels. Well, I love all my channels, but just to be able to sit and talk about things that I would talk about with my recovering friends and things like that that have to do with things we've gone through in life, you know, setting boundaries, grief, making mistakes, learning from our mistakes, being a different person today, trying to change, trying to grow, and all that kind of stuff. Oh, there's the male person. Hey! So anyway, so thank you so much for your comments. And if you have specific comment or specific topics that you would like me to talk about, please put it in the comment section below. Okay, so I got this comment, and it was on my video called Letting Go. And the comment said, this is a brilliant video, and it was talking about setting boundaries and letting go of resentments and things like that, and just like the act of letting go. And one of the recovery sayings that I love so much is, there was nobody on the street when I started filming this video, and now as I started filming this video, it's like all these cars are coming down the street and stuff like that. So anyway, can't control that, have to let that go, right? So one of the sayings that I have loved ever, you know, since early days in sobriety, because it was something that I understood the concept of it, but was never able to really work on before, or chose not to work on, was the idea of let go and let God. And you can translate that into whatever your belief system is, or if you have a belief system, or just, you know, let go and let the universe take it, or whatever. And the reality is, and this is one of the things I've learned through the years, by much challenge and resistance, is I have control over very little in my life. The thing I have the most control over is my reaction and my response to the things that happen in my life. I can choose how I react, how I respond. I can choose what I give my energy to. I can choose what I stress out over, what I worry about. I can stress out over this and out that, and then realize I've given so much energy over these things that I have no control over over that anyway, right? It's like, you know, people will say things to me, the only thing that you can control is yourself and, you know, your reaction to things, which is so true. Resentments are one of those things, and I've talked, it seems recently, a lot about resentments. You know, and I was always taught that resentments are unfulfilled expectations, that when you feel like somebody did something wrong to you, or you were wronged in some way, or a situation didn't turn out the way that you wished it had, or that you thought it should, that you're angry about that. And so you hold on to that, you know, and I was taught that a resentment is when it's someone or something doesn't turn out the way that it was, and then it's an unfulfilled expectation, right? And we hold on to that. And that's why in recovery we often say that, you know, resentments are the #1 offender. They're the things that are going to get us back to drinking and using the most, because we hold on to that lingering anger and things like that. And one of the sayings that comes out of that to work on resentments is that it's like letting people rent space in our head for free, right? It's that we are consumed with what other people think about us, or what other people have done to us in the past, or how people have hurt us, right? When they've long ago stopped thinking about us, or even if they are thinking about us every minute of the day, we're becoming consumed with that. And it's taking what they did to us, or their thinking or obsession over us, is now consuming us. It's taking away our life, right? And I'm just not willing to do that anymore. I'm not willing to give my energy to those things that don't matter at all anyway, right? That I wasted too much energy on in my life. It's literally just like, you know, I say this a lot in my videos, that, you know, the day is broken down into 24 hours, and every hour is broken down into 60 minutes. And so who we talk to on the phone, what we read on the internet, social media-wise, what we give our attention to, what shows we watch, what YouTube videos we watch, what conversations we're having, we're literally giving time of our life. When people are literally fighting for minutes and days and hours to stay alive, right? We're literally giving that time away and letting people rent space in our head for free, that it doesn't matter. So when I saw this comment on here, I thought it was really, really interesting. So the person said, this is a brilliant video, which I appreciate. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. They said, I read a saying that was along the lines of, taking their negative comments with you is like carrying around poison or something like that. And I was like, oh, I know the comment that she's referring to. And the comment is taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. And it's actually something that we say in recovery a lot, right? That holding on to a resentment and being really angry at people that either did us wrong in the past or are currently doing us wrong today, and we're not setting boundaries or limits, or we're giving a lot of energy to that anger, right, is really hurting us in the long run. It's taking the poison and waiting for the other person to die, because we're the person that is getting hurt by it the most when we're becoming consumed with it and we're, looking at it every day. It's like when you go through a breakup, this is why I've told friends of mine in my life, like when you go through a breakup, just like block that person online. Don't follow them on social media. Well, I have to because I'm friends with their family. No, you don't. You don't have to anymore, right? Like, you don't have to see that stuff. It's too painful for you. You got to put yourself first, right? And so don't read any other stuff. I know, but I want to know what they're doing. No, it's going to hurt you too bad to know what they're doing, And like, that's something that I always say to friends of mine, that like just set a solid boundary with yourself, that you're more important than what they're doing on social media. It's just going to hurt you in the long run anyway, to know what they think, to know what they're doing, to things like that, right? Who's calling me? Oh. So it's just like, set that boundary and move on with it. I think many of us, and I did this for a long time, because my need for acceptance, love, and validation from other people was more important to me than my acknowledgement of my own self-worth, my own self-love, right? What other people thought about me, whether it was based in truth, whether it was based in lies, I spent much of my life trying to prove, oh, this person lied on me, this person told a story that wasn't true. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I spent so much time of my life doing that, right? I spent so much time of my life, starting when I was a kid, with people that bullied me and said things that were not true about me and did not like me. I spent so much time trying to seek their approval and their validation. It's probably why I did it way into my adulthood, right? Way, even just till a couple years ago. Probably have even done it this year a little bit, because I've sought those, and like, if I could just get those people to like me, like, I don't understand why they don't like me, right? You're never going to change those people's opinions. You aren't. And so it's about letting that go. And when we do that and we spend our time being angry in our head about something that somebody did to us, and I'm not talking about like, well, I am even talking about serious situations. Our job, and I talked about this with inventory yesterday, is going to therapy, to work through the pain, to work through the issues, to turn our wounds into wisdom, to work through all of that stuff, right? Because it's too painful otherwise. Because then every day we're holding on to that anger, we're holding on to that pain. Every day we're living it. While they're out there doing whatever they're doing, having a good laugh, having fun, whether it's at our expense or whether they've forgotten completely about us, whether they're laughing right at us, whether they're saying crap about us, or whether they don't even acknowledge us and don't even know, they've gone on and don't even know what's going on, right? We're consumed with that anger. We're consumed with all of that. We're consumed with proving this person wrong. And if you knew what happened to me back then when they said this, and you would know the truth, and if you knew who this, it's consuming. It becomes consuming. And I have become consumed with that stuff at multiple points in my life, right? It's not worth it. And I look back on those periods of my life and I think to myself, you literally lost precious time with people that you loved, spending time with people that you loved, spending time doing things that you loved, and most importantly, on yourself, right? I'm not willing to do that today. It's still a challenge for me, but I'm not willing to drink the poison hoping that it affects somebody else. In fact, I don't even care that deeply about it. I'm not that much of a believer in karmic energy. I'm not that much of a believer in karma. I don't know that it necessarily works that way. All I know is that person's got to learn their lessons and I've got to learn mine. That person has to live their life and I have to learn mine, right? Does that mean that today I'm ready to give everybody forgiveness in my life and forget what they did? Absolutely not. I love when I talk about forgiveness in my videos and people will say, I'm not there yet, but I hope I am someday. I'm like that with a lot of people in my life today. There's people in my life that have done me wrong and I'm not there yet today. I can see it in the future. But I'm not consumed with it either. That's the difference, right? And I don't want them in my life and I don't want anything to do with them, I don't grant them permission to my life today. I'm very sacred in my life, There's a lot I share online, but there's tons more that I don't. And I'm very sacred with my life around here. I'm very sacred with it's very sacred to me on who is in my life, who has permission to my life, who I see, and things like that. I just don't grant everybody permission like that, right? And I had to do that because for so long, I just let anybody come into my life and whatever and walk all over me. I talked about being a doormat. I'm not willing to do that today. At the expense of having few people in my life, I'm totally fine with that. What I won't do is spend my life being consumed with negativity, being consumed with hatred and anger. It's just not worth it to me. It actually makes me really sad when I see people that are consumed with that, because I'm like, you know, when you've gone through some serious tragedies in your life and you've almost come to the end where you didn't think you were going to be here anymore, or you look back and you think I shouldn't be here anymore, the rest of it is frivolous. The rest of spending all your time and energy on all of that, it's frivolous, right? It doesn't mean anything. You look at that and you think, why did I waste so much time spinning my wheels, being so angry and disliking this person so much? You can dislike somebody and not put all that energy into it. I do that today, right? Like, there are people out there that I don't want to interact with. I also am not like, you know, on their social media all the time posting things and like sending people messages, can you believe this? And I don't have the time and energy for that. I don't spend my time talking to my friends about those people that have hurt me in the past. They don't spend their time talking to me about people that have hurt them in the past. We just don't. Life is short. It's not worth that. It's not at all, you know? And so I am not anymore willing to let people rent space in my head for free anymore. I'm just not. It's just not worth it, you know? And it's a decision that I had to make. And it's a decision that I, you know, have to remind myself on a pretty regular basis, because I can still get mad. I can still get angry about things, right? But I'm not willing to let it consume me. I have, during periods of my life, let that anger, let that resentment consume me, and let it take me so far that I'm just like, I can't see outside of it. I'm not willing to do that anymore. My life is too important and too precious to me. Period. End of story. And I keep on saying that a lot. So anyway, I've been saying that a lot lately. I've been thinking a lot about my mom. My mom used to say period, end of story a lot. So period, end of story. Yeah, I'm not willing to give my energy to that anymore. It's not worth it. Does that mean that I wake up every day and I feel like that? No. Sometimes I have to, you know, read through things that I have written down on my phone. Sometimes I have to remind myself of that, you know? Sometimes I want to go there. I want to be so angry at this person that, you know, I'll see something on Facebook and it'll be like a picture of somebody that I'm friends with somebody that did me wrong in like 1998. And I all of a sudden can feel myself getting heated. I'm like, this is not worth it. They don't even know you're around anymore. They don't know where you are, what happened to you. They don't care about you. Why are you consumed with this? Why have you not let this go? Why have you not worked through that, right? And that's when I have to take that to my sponsor or take that to my therapist. And usually what it is it's really not about that person anyway. It's about something that happened to me. It's about some reaction that I had inside of me. There's a lot of patterns. I talked about patterns yesterday, you know, in doing inventory. That was what was so powerful with doing that. And that doesn't happen to me very often today where I can get that fired up about something. I'm just using it as an example of things that have happened to me in my past. But, you know, does it every once in a while when I see somebody like, you know, congratulating somebody, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, you know, I see you, right? Like, okay, you didn't give the same energy to me 20 years ago, but all right, I see you, you know, but I don't get as consumed with it as I did. But like, it takes me some work to do that today, you know? I think because, you know, we talk about foundation years and how important foundation years are. It's always interesting to me, like, when I talk about bullying, because people always want to talk about, like, kids and foundation years. And, you know, like, foundation years are really, really important to kids, like, from the time that they're born until they're, like, 10 or 12 years old, right? But then when I talk about bullying, I always have people that will say to me, like, that was so long ago. Those were my foundation years. My foundation years, the foundation of my life was built and being put down, bullied, had people make up lies about me, had people say things about me. So that's the foundation for my life, right? That's been a lot of work. It's just, you don't just get over it one day, right? That's been the foundation of my life, okay? Having to come to people and say, this person's lying about me, having to prove their lies wrong, you know, because people constantly wanted to lie on me when I was growing up and say, this happened and I said that. None of it was true, right? Or it was frivolous, or they switched and turned my words up. You know, people would say mean things to me. People would put me down. People would call me mean names. And my response to that was getting people, wanting to get people to like me. Because I thought if they liked me, and they saw that I was a good person, that I was a nice person, then I was worthy of their acceptance. I don't do that today. Don't like me, okay? That's fine. There are going to be people out there that don't like you. There are people out there that I don't like. But I am not going to spin my wheels trying to prove to somebody else what is not their right to know in the first place. It is not my job to prove somebody else, like, what they think about me or whatever. keep on thinking it about me, okay? I'm not going to waste my time consumed with that today. I'm just not. I've given up too much of my life over the last 51 years focused on getting the wrong people to like me when there's enough people out there that like me. It's a waste of time. And I sure as hell am not going to drink the poison hoping something bad happens to them, figuratively. I'm not going to do that. It doesn't work anyway, right? And that's what a resentment is. It's drinking the poison and you being affected by it and you being hurt, wanting them to be hurt. But most of them don't even see how it's affecting you. Most of them don't even know that you're still affected by it or hurt. And that's when you know it's time to work through that stuff, right? That's why when I was talking about the inventory yesterday, I said I did 2 nights of 9 hours of doing the 5th step. When I walked away, I felt like so much weight had been lifted off my shoulders because I got rid of all of that, right? Like, that's why today this stuff doesn't really bother me. Sure, I still have thoughts about it, but it doesn't affect me the way that it did affect me before that. Because that stuff was weighing me down, right? Like, that stuff was a lot of heaviness on me. Does it hurt me when people still make up lies about me today? 100%. Does it still hurt me when people call me names today? 100%. Does it still hurt me when people make up things and say things about me that aren't true or that are hurtful? 100%. My response to that is different today. I'm not willing to give away my energy and my life to that. I'm just not. I can't. And neither should you. Neither should you. Your time, your life, and what you think about yourself is 100 times more important than when somebody else thinks or says about you. Period, end of story. And also how they treated you in the past, because you can't change that anyway. So we can either learn from that and move forward and let it go at some point, or we can stay stuck in it. I don't want to stay stuck in shit that happened to me 20 years ago. I could do a whole video about things that people did wrong to me way back in the day, 25 years ago, and I could stay so stuck in that. I don't want to do that today. And some people did some horrific shit to me, you know? I can't live in that today. It doesn't mean that I forget what happened, you know? But I can't live in that today. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.